Now we're going to go to the ProCentric Direct editor. This is a full HTML user interface editor. So what you're creating here is the interface that's presented on the television for the guests to access all the features of the system and the information presented within it. And there's a couple of tools provided to help with this. And we're going to create a new project, and we're going to build one initially from a template. So there's two ways of doing this: from scratch, from a free design, from a blank template or no template, or from a template that exists on the system and then you can modify it. So we'll pull one of these templates in first and show you how the basic editor functions work. So when you pull in the project, you're presented with the portal page, and now these are editable elements, and so you can change these according to your proposed design, or you can just keep these as is and deploy this project to the television. So each of these menus on the left are the different pages of the template. So this is the weather, for example. This can be edited. You can change the text, both the font, the color, what it's saying, background style, whether you've got an image or it's clear, and then also whether you have any animation effect associated with that. So each of these pages you can edit, and then you can also set how they navigate, how the guest navigates between each of the functions. And the system's built around widgets for each of the features of the system. So a widget allows you to basically define what that page is going to function. So for example, if you wanted to pull in an image here, you can select the image. This goes to the media page, and these are the preset images that you would have loaded previously. You can select one of these, pull it in and update, and there's your new image. You can adjust that based on how you want that to fit into the design of the page. So the idea of the widgets is to make it very simple to be able to edit the user interface. So you can create billboards, add your date and time. You've got the weather widget. Of course, you'd add that to the weather page. TV functions, so a picture-in-picture or pit window, video for your TV screen, your remote guide, channel guide. So this is where you would set up your channel list. So if I go to the channel guide page, you can see that's built on a widget. This widget here is standard channel grid. So you can delete this and add in a full EPG. Where is it? EPG. Select EPG, pull that onto the screen, and then all this is completely editable in terms of the color scheme, the amount of rows that's displayed, and the sizing of it. So it gives you great flexibility on how you want to present the information. And here you see the number of rows. Lower the rows here, update that. And you can design your EPG according to how it fits in with the overall design concept for your UI. All these colors and icons and fonts are editable. So each of the main functions of the system has a widget associated with it, and so you can build up your user interface using these widgets, and the functions of the system are created according to those. So that's essentially what you're doing for each of these pages. So go to Smart Apps page, and you have a Smart Apps widget that you've placed on there that will call up the icons and be displayed within the user interface. So that's calling in a template, and what you have up here on the right is a preview, so you can take a look at, once you've created your user interface, how the design looks for a guest operating it from the television. So the preview page presents it from that perspective. So here you have the remote control, and you can basically move around the pages and see how they work within the user interface, and so you can verify your design before you deploy it to the televisions. And this operates exactly as you would as a user from the remote control. Once you're happy with that, you could actually deploy this project. So you close the preview, and up here you can hit deploy, and that user interface and application would be downloaded to the television at the next update cycle. If we go back now to the editor, we're going to now not save any of that. Go back to home, we'll go back into the editor, and then show you free design. So now we're going to create a new from a blank template, and no color scheme, you can choose one. So now your project's ready for editing. Again, this isn't, now you land on the portal page, and now you can start building up your portal, which is the main menu. So again, you can set a color scheme for your background color, whether you want to pull in an image. So obviously it would be nice to have a background image, so you can select a theme, whatever that might be, pull that image in, and you can decide whether you want to stretch that image for the whole page, or we just have it standard size. And so that gives you a background image for your portal page, and now you can use the widgets to define how you want that to function. So for example, you might want to put a picture-in-picture or a video screen. So this is a TV picture. So now you're saying what area of that UI, that main portal page, is going to be your TV picture. So this would be video playing in here. You may not like that. You can change that and just maybe put a pip. So this small window, top right. And now you can start building up your buttons. You might want to put buttons for accessing menu features. And again, these, you can call in images for these. Completely editable functions. And then with the buttons, obviously you have to say, well, what navigation does that do when the guest is moving between those buttons and activating the functions. And here you define, where they go. What page does a button go to? So, for example, if you set that as weather, it would go to the weather page. So you can see the widgets help the system integrator develop that interface from scratch, and it takes a little time to understand how the system works. But once you've figured out the main tools, you've got great flexibility in designing your user interface as you see fit. And essentially, you go through and create each of your pages for the user interface, and then save those off. Again, do the preview to see how they operate, and deploy your project. So let's go add another page. So now let's say we wanted to add an EPG page. This is where you would build up your EPG from scratch. So now you're adding in EPG. Place your episode information. So the widgets help you define those functions and move them onto the page very, very quickly and easily. You can scale how that looks, font, whether there's a background color. So you can see that the flexibility of the system is there to basically create whatever unique experience you want the guest to have, or importantly for the customer, the hotelier, match their brand standard and design, because many of the brands want to present a consistent brand message to the guest, and you can do this through the editor function of ProCentric Direct.